Test Geek Exam Prep, LLC. Wanted to come to you with a couple of questions that are showing up on the SIE. Everyone's favorite topic, actually no matter what exam you're taking. This concept shows up on almost all the exams. And that would be, our friends, the options. Okay? Now, there are a couple of concepts pertaining to options that generally show up. Now, relatively speaking, the concepts that show up are relatively easy, okay? But of course, you know, if you're brand new at it, it's easy for me to say, right? A couple of concepts, one of them being something called intrinsic value, okay? Now this is simply the relationship between the market price of the underlying security and the strike price of the option, okay? Also known as the exercise price of the option. For example, okay? Let's say we have Microsoft stock, okay? Ticker symbol MSFT, and I'm just going to make up a random price. Let's say it is currently trading at $63 per share, okay? In reality, it's about twice that. Anyway, okay? Now, we have bought, a customer who has bought a one Microsoft August 65 call for $3, okay, per share. That's kind of how an option contract looks, right? We're buying one Microsoft August 65 call. Okay? Now, for call options, it is said to be in the money. That's what the traders refer to as intrinsic value, right? In the money. When the market price of the stock, can we just call that the CMV, the current market value of the stock, is greater than the exercise or strike price of the option, okay? That is when it's in the money for call options, okay? If this instead were a put option, it's just the reverse, okay? Now, there's a lot of things that you could go into. Where do they get this term? Why do they consider intrinsic value? What is intrinsic value? Where is that all derived? I mean, we could go into all of that if you wanted to, okay? But have always been the case that it's on a need-to-know basis only, right? If we were starting into the Series 7 top-off exam, we'd get into this a little deeper, okay? But for the SIE, they're simply going to ask you, is this option in the money, out of the money, or at the money? That's all they're going to ask, okay? And believe me, when you have the SIE, and then the Series 6 or Series 7 after that, and then perhaps the Series 63 or the 66 or whatever, I mean, you got all these exams that you need to get passed in a relatively short period of time. So, it's about efficiency. Okay? It's a need-to-know basis. What do I need to know to get this god-awful thing out of my life and get me that P, right? Pass. Okay? So, if this were a put option, then it's just reverse, right? It would be in the money if the market price of the stock or the underlying security is less than the strike price, okay? I better spell that out. Strike price. Okay? That's really all you need to know. All you got to do is compare the actual price of the underlying security, Microsoft in this case, and compare it to the strike or exercise price. If that, for calls, is greater, then it's in the money. In this case, it's less than, let's get this back to the call. It's less than the strike price, So that would be, of course, out of the money. Okay. And what if, of course, it was equal, equal to the strike price? That is then at the money. Okay? I mean, it's a relatively easy test question if you just simply remember call up, put down. Call up, put down. Call up, put down. Call up, put down. Right? Our little mnemonic. That's all you need to know is our little options aerobics. Okay? To remember for calls. Call up, put down. Intrinsic value, you want the stock above the strike price. For puts, you want it below the strike price. Okay? If it's not either of these things, then it's said out of the money. If it's equal to these, then it's at the money. I can almost assure you of this test question showing up on the test. Okay? All right, another option question that oftentimes people kind of confuse with intrinsic value. Okay? Intrinsic value, if we were to look a little deeper into this, basically is referring to the inherent value of the option contract. Okay? However, if we care about our customer, then we want to know where the customer is going to break even. Okay? So they're two completely separate concepts. Do not confuse the two, right? For calls, when the stock price is above, for puts, when it's below the strike price. That's it. Break even is referring to the customer's break even. Okay? Now, if I buy 100 shares, that's the actual stock, 100 shares of XYZ at, say, $62 a share, and I then sell one XYZ 65 call at 3. This is what we typically refer to as a hedge position. Okay? When you actually own the stock and you either buy or sell an option in addition to that, that's a hedge. It's generally used for one of two purposes: to either protect the stock, or in this case, by selling the option, you're actually bringing in additional income. Okay? Regardless, how do we find the break-even? Okay? Now, for hedge strategies, stock and the option, that's a hedge. Okay? I always recommend people do a simple T-chart that tracks the flow of money out of your account or into. Don't use debits and credits unless you are a CPA and you understand those concepts. Essentially, that means money goes out of my account whenever I buy something, money comes in whenever I sell something. Now look, if we're not comfortable with options, if these are relatively new to you, they can very easily get you stuck into Alice's rabbit hole. We don't want to go down there. Okay? Just keep it simple. Stay with what you know. We buy the stock for $62 per share. We then sell the call for $3. What is the net of those two transactions? Well, we're out $59 per share. That's our break-even. That's all you have to do. For a hedge strategy, stock and an option, just simply do a T-chart, right? Track the flow of money and let the answer simply fall to the bottom. Okay? There's no analysis, there's no fuss, there's no muss. It keeps it very, very simple. Break even for a hedge strategy. Stock with an option. That's a hedge. Okay? That's a break even. I can't imagine an option question getting any more complicated on the real exam beyond this. Okay? I know some of those textbooks go way deep into it. And you will get, no doubt, several option questions. Okay? Typically, it's going to involve intrinsic value and or perhaps a break-even. Okay? Now, please, if you have any questions, comments, opinions, editorials, whatever, please feel free to give me a call, all right? An email, brian@testgeekexamprep.com. I'd be more than happy to talk to you. I spend all day talking to folks, helping them get past. Also, we have the SIE video course available. And if you like, you can even bundle it, save you a couple of bucks with the Series 7 top-off exam. Okay? And you can find that through our website, testgeekexamprep.com. Okay? So either way, shoot me an email. Go get the video course. I'm telling you, for the price of that thing, you get a lot of extra sleep, let me tell you. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to give me a buzz. Give me a shout. And let's remember, let's go out and get that P. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.